Now we're gonna hear a voice from Ukraine, an expert from Transparency International, Mr. Andriy Timofeyuk, will deliver us the latest insight on the situation in Ukraine. Hello, sir. Good to have you with us.
Hello from Kyiv, Ukraine.
Can you deliver us your assessment of the scope of the aid being given from the Western allies to Ukraine?
Well, recently in the last days, it was really increased. We have news about the aid from the United States of America, which is coming, and the most surprisingly for me and for majority of Ukrainian citizens is like the aid, especially from the Netherlands. Right, they promised they are sending us actually the heavy equipment, and this was rather surprising because like several years ago they had a referendum about joining Ukraine to the European Union, and it was mostly negative for Ukraine. So we are really extremely surprised to hear that. And also, as far as I know, they told something like, "We are not Germans. We are sending weapons." They wrote this in Twitter, something like this connotation. So it's even like political move from the Netherlands, very strong, I think. Yeah. So we can see that in the last couple of days, actually, lots of Western countries they increased the supply of the weapons to Ukraine.
How about such statements as from yesterday, Peter Szijjártó, so the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Hungary, said that Hungary will not be in favor of imposing more sanctions and making the Russian oil and gas forbidden in the EU. And even Hungarian minister said that there are another countries in European Union thinking the same, but not voicing it loudly as Hungary. What do you think about this?
Well, considering the results of Hungarian elections, which happened several weeks ago, and the result was like the victory of Viktor Orban and his party, it was actually expected. Uh, our point of view is really simple. It's really bad to support Russian aggression by continuing to doing business with them. Yeah, it's bad for international law. It's bad for humanitarian reasons. So we are strictly against this. But it was more or less expected from the current government of Hungary, which were having the ties with Putin's regime for a long time, actually.
What can you say about the latest threats from Russia to Finland? Because Finland wants to join NATO, and we've seen the latest missile system movements around the border with Finland.
Oh yeah, well, Russian army to play its muscles and to move some troops here and there, like in hopes that everybody will be scary. But I saw when there was a video released from the Russian Federation about them transferring arms. Finnish people also released some video, and they were bringing tractors to the border, like Ukrainian tractors that were and are continuing right now, transferring the captured Russian vehicles, right? So it was actually a very fun response because it means that Finnish people are also ready to capture and transfer a lot of Russian military vehicles, and that Finnish people do not afraid. My point of view is it is extremely improbable that Russian Federation makes really aggressive move to Finland. They don't have troops. All of their efforts is here, and they are not winning. And even if they do, they will remember the Finnish War of 1940. So this is nothing. This is just bluff
So
from the Kremlin, from Putin.
no real threat for Finland and for the Baltic states as well?
As far as I know, Baltic states are part of NATO. So actually, I think uh, if we come to the situation where when there is a real confrontation between the NATO and the Russian Federation, of course they are in a big threat. That's why there is a joint NATO, right? But to this moment, I don't think that Putin is crazy enough to start the real third war if they cannot deal with Ukraine. Yeah, uh, but of course they're aggressive neighbors, so Baltic countries are really right historically to increase their defense joining by NATO. Yeah.
And what do you think about the latest statements from Lithuanian Prime Minister that the nuclear weapons, Russian nuclear weapons, are already present and don't have to be especially deployed in the nearest future because they are already there around the Baltic states?
Well, it depends what kind of nuclear weapons, because there are, like, so to say, like big nuclear weapons, which are really like Armageddon type of weapons. There are like tactical nuclear weapons which have the lower scale of explosion, and that's why that's called tactical, not like the strategical one. Well, this is really secret information. I don't have like data which proves or rejects the claim that they are ready. I cannot comment on that. But as far as I know, like the American intelligence, they really track all of the kinds of stuff, as big ones or tactical nuclear weapons. And if something really is going on, they will make some actions. So in this with this regard, I think that there is some probability that they will use tactical weapons, but I think I think that something will be done before they do this from our allies, or because it's very serious. It's even more serious than invasion to Ukraine.
What are the latest data on the situation of defenders in Mariupol?
Well, they are fighting. The situation is continuous. It's already 56 day of the war. It's really heroic stand from them. So they are. Majority of the defenders are on the Azovstal plant, Azovstal, right? And what is this? This is a huge plant with really a lot of industrial buildings and really a lot of basements and really a lot of tunnels. This is really hard object to attack for the Russian troops and even to bomb, because there are a lot of basements and tunnels, actually. Yeah, tunnels. But not only.
Mhm.
We hear that the fighting is also in some other parts of the city. So we cannot say that Russian Federation captured Mariupol already. It's not true. Mariupol is still fighting.
And how about the civilian population? Because we've seen on some videos made by the defenders themselves that among them, among soldiers, are as well civilians hiding in the cellars, in the basements.
Yeah, there are civilians that are hiding in the basements. It's a really tragedy, and civilians. It actually shows that many civilians, they prefer to be with Ukrainian warriors rather than to evacuate with the Russian Federation to their territory out for, because it's really, nobody knows what expects them, and really bad things expect them, especially men, if they choose like just to go to the Russian soldiers to say evacuate us wherever you can. We just want to escape the war. No, they are staying with Ukrainian soldiers, and it is better for them to risk their life, but not to go with the Russian troops, right? So considering them, there are hundreds, as far as I know, of civilians, and they do not agree to for the humanitarian corridor that leads to the Russian Federation, because it's like they can be transferred to Siberia and nobody will hear nothing from them. It's really scary. So they try to stay with Ukrainian people, with Ukrainian soldiers, and they are waiting for the relief.
Will the Russian offensive end automatically if city of Mariupol is being taken?
It depends. City of Mariupol presents like a key to the corridor to Crimea, right? So this is probably the thing that the Russian Federation can actually like achieve and state as their victory. Is that all of this war was due to the necessity of corridor to Crimea. All of the other offensives, like on Kiev, were like feigned. There were like false attacks, and this was the true goal. So in this sense, it is possible that like the minor accomplishments that Putin can get out of all of this adventure, all of this not adventure but cruel war, it is. It is possible that they will feed this to their public, right? But even in this scenario, the public will ask like, why did we lose like dozens of thousands of our troops just to capture some Mariupol? It's nonsense for the Russian Federation. So answering your question, I think it is possible that if they lose in the Battle of Donbass, they will try to at all the means possible to capture Mariupol and then present it to the public, and then the war can stop for some time.
Within few days, we're gonna have another anniversary of ending the Second World War, so the Victory Day, being commemorated in Russia on May the 9th. What is expected from Ukrainian side on this day?
Wow, in Ukrainian side, we really remember our soldiers in the Second World War. We were fighting against the Nazism, as we actually do today, because our Russian Federation, what does it do? It does really bad things to Ukrainian nation, right? But we didn't turn this like a religion, because in the Russian Federation, this victory over Nazism is a religion. People. Don't follow common sense. They follow some narratives about the eternal fight with fascists and so on. Yeah.
Mhm.
So what will Ukraine will do? We will try to commemorate, of course, our fallen ancestors in this war, but most probably we will try to spoil the celebration for the Russian Federation, because for them this is like a religious event. For us, not for us. We live for people today and for our future. They live for the past, so we will spoil them celebration. Do everything possible for them not to have any sort of victory over there.
Do you think that having no real success on the front line on the battlefield, Russia may stage any victory for the public opinion?
They will try, but it will be hard, because if they don't have real victories, they will be attacked also from the simple people who don't understand why they should lose jobs and relatives of this unnecessary conflicts, and they will also be attacked from the so to say aggressive parties, which will not be satisfied how, which think that this war is necessary, but they will not be satisfied how it was performed, right? So if they don't have some achievements, they will be attacked from all the parties. Of course, they will try with their propaganda to stage like anything. They can move like they can make like any movie, like they are even marching Kiev. Yeah, they can just make some movies that the soldier already captured Kiev, and some people will believe, but not everybody. That's why I think that they will try to make a good picture for both. Like so to say, the ordinary people and aggressive people in the Russian Federation, but they will not succeed.
And just final questions, 30 seconds left. Will Battle of Donbass will mean the end of the Russian appetite?
No, it's definitely not in the long run. In the short run, probably yes. It's a really decisive battle. If they uh, cannot achieve at least something, they need to change strategy and so on. And they don't have so much troops and so much techniques. We already annihilated a lot of their vehicles and a lot of their troops that are able to fight. Yeah, so it's kind of decisive.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time and insight. Our guest was Mr. Andriy Timofeyuk, Ukrainian journalist.
Thank you. Goodbye.